Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a really fun video today. We're going to do a Q&A / get to know me. So I asked a couple days ago for you guys to leave me some questions on my Instagram, and I have them on my phone. We're going to go through them. Okay, so first question is, how old am I? I am 25, so I am a prequels baby. I grew up with the prequels. They're my absolute favorite. And I think that has a lot to do with that trilogy being the one that I grew up with. Okay, the next question is, how did you get into Star Wars? So this is kind of a long one, but I will kind of go through my whole journey, I guess. So I've always been around Star Wars. Like I said earlier, I'm a prequels baby. So I grew up with the prequel trilogy. I have an older brother who was really into the movies when they came out. And I have a lot of really special memories of going over to my neighbors' houses and like lightsaber dueling with them. So I've always been around it. I would watch the Clone Wars when it was on Cartoon Network. I didn't watch it like religiously, but whenever it was on, I would watch it. So I've always been around Star Wars, but it wasn't until like, I think it was 2014 that I got like really into it. So I started dating my boyfriend at the time, who is now my fiance, Erikel, in 2014, and we went to San Diego Comic-Con together, and we started going to Disneyland a lot, and that's where we started pin trading. And pin trading became my obsession, or our obsession. At first, it was just pin trading with the cast members in the parks, but then we learned about that you could trade with other collectors. So we eventually got an annual pass, and we would go every Sunday to the parks to pin trade. And some of the coolest pins ever made were made for Disney World for Star Wars weekends. And when I saw those, I was just like, oh, I couldn't get enough of them. So we collected them for about a year, and then we started to notice that other people were making what are called fantasy pins. So fantasy pins are fan art that are turned into enamel pins. And at the beginning, they would be mashups. So it would be like two Disney characters that aren't usually together, but they would like combine them. So for example, someone did like a Stitch and Baymax, and it was like really cool. And my fiance is an artist, so he was like, I would like to make a pin, like that could be fun. And we really had like no plan for it. This was like 2015. It just sounded like something fun to do. So we made a pin, I'll put it up here, called Hawaiian Bounty Hunting, and it is a Boba Fett and Stitch mashup. Like there's a bounty out on Stitch and Boba Fett collected him. So yeah, that was really fun. And like as soon as we did that, we were hooked. So about that same time, we decided to make a Instagram account for pin trading. And that was like really the only like Star Wars accounts there were at the time. This was like, I think 2015. I think it was just like Star Wars Daily and like a few other accounts, but they were mostly like news and information. It wasn't really like people, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't like influencers, like not at all. It was just like posting Star Wars stuff. So we had like our little community on there where we would pin trade with other people, or we would buy other fantasy pins. And we had both always loved Star Wars, but we had never really experienced the fandom online until we started pin trading. And from there, we started finding other people who liked Star Wars as well. So that's when we changed our name from Star Wars Pins for Days to Punch a Chewy Press, and that's what it is right now. So since then, we have created a lot of fan art. We love the Clone Wars, we love the EU, and that's really what we like, just love making and love sharing with other fans who love the same things. And it's been a wild ride. We never expected it to really take off the way it has, and we're so grateful to everyone who has supported our pins and our artwork over the years, because this is what we do full time, which is crazy to say. But it's been so much fun. I'm trying not to talk forever about this, but it's been so much fun. We've done a lot of conventions like WonderCon, LA Comic Con, Designer Con. We just did San Diego Comic Con this summer, which was an absolute dream of ours. I still can't believe it happened. But yeah, it's just been so special getting to meet everyone through that community. So I've kind of had these different stages of being a Star Wars fan online. So it started as pin trading and then making pins, and then just sharing fandom and collecting and all that stuff on Punch It. And then I decided to make a Star Wars style Instagram. So for those of you that don't know, I run this blog where I repost cosplayers, Disney bounders, Star Wars news. I post behind the scenes stuff, pictures on set, costuming details, just anything Star Wars fashion related. And I've met so many insanely talented people through that community that inspire me every day, and I'm so grateful for my community there. So I created that account at the end of 2019. And then in 2020, I started to post on my personal account some Star Wars stuff, but it was like very sporadic, like maybe once every 2 weeks. And it wasn't until late 2021 that I made a TikTok, and there I posted every day, twice a day, for a full year now. And that has honestly been my favorite platform to date. I've met so many cool people through TikTok. The Star Wars community on there is like so positive and so fun. And that's where I've really fallen in love with cosplaying. So yeah, I love TikTok. I love Instagram. I'm on Twitter now. So yeah, sorry for like that super long explanation. But yeah, I've been posting about Star Wars for the past like 7 years, which is crazy to say. And it's something that I love so much. It's never felt like a job or a chore to post about, because I literally think about Star Wars all day long. So yeah, that's kind of my Star Wars journey of how I got into Star Wars. I've definitely become more obsessed as the years have gone on. Obviously, as I've learned more, read more, watched more. I love Star Wars. Can you tell? And I've started streaming now. I have my YouTube channel now. So I'm really doing a lot more content, and it's been a lot of fun getting to know you guys. And I've really never felt closer to my followers and to my friends. And I'm just so grateful for every single one of you. So thank you. If you're watching this video, I really appreciate it. Okay, would I rather be a Sith or a Jedi? This is a fun question. I think being a Sith would be cool, but the fact that they're so miserable and they draw their power from being so miserable, it's like, you know, I don't want to be miserable. So I think I'm gonna have to say Jedi. I think I lean towards the light side more than I do the dark. Either way would be cool, but I think I'm gonna go with Jedi on this one. Next question is, how old were you when you first saw Star Wars, and which movie was your first? So I'm not exactly sure which movie I watched first. I'm assuming it was The Phantom Menace, because I would have seen those in theaters. I obviously was not born when the original trilogy came out. But the first one I really remember was A New Hope. That was like when I sat down and was like, okay, let's watch all of them all together. I watched them in release order, and I swear by release order because that's the way the movies came out. That's how like the public experienced them. And I think it adds so much more to Anakin and to Vader's story when you watch 4, 5, 6 and then 1, 2, 3. So yeah. What's one piece of advice you would give to someone looking to start creating online content? This is a good question. Let me see. I think the best advice I can give you is whatever content you want to make needs to genuinely be something you're obsessed with, because you need to have that drive and that passion and a way to stay consistent with making content. I think one of the most important things when sharing stuff online is to be consistent. I know that's obviously one of the hardest parts, but that's really the best way to grow a following and keep a following, because people need to see you, to remember you, and to stay engaged in your content. So if you post like once every 2 weeks, it's going to be a lot harder for people to get to know you, connect with you, want to follow you, want to comment on your stuff. And of course, the other side of that is like, you want it to be fun. You don't want this to feel like a job. You don't want to be stressed out about it. You want to have fun doing whatever you're doing. So I would say pick something that you're super passionate about. And the last thing I will suggest is pick something extremely niche. So yes, I love making Star Wars content, but even further into that, I love the prequels, and that's where I focus most of my time, because even though Star Wars is niche, there are so many other like sub fandoms within Star Wars. So when you pick something that you're really passionate about, that you're like hyper focused on, people, when they come to your page, know exactly what they're getting from you. So they'll know, do I want to follow them or not right away? And if you keep up the same content, they'll want to continue to follow you because you're still making the content that they originally followed you for. So I hope that makes sense. And if you don't know what your niche is going to be right away, that's totally fine. Definitely feel free to experiment with different content, with different ideas, even different fandoms, whatever you want to do, and then see how people react to that content and see how you feel about making that content. See what you really enjoy, what's the most fun, where you feel the most creative, and then over time you'll start to see like, okay, maybe I want to focus on Marvel stuff, or maybe I want to focus on Disney stuff or Star Wars or whatever it is, makeup, cooking, whatever. Just play around, but then once you find a niche, stick to it. Is there a house tour and room tour in the future? Yes, I would love to do that, especially now that I have my YouTube. I've done a few videos on my TikTok, but it's hard to really like get everything in 3 minutes. But I think that'd be a lot of fun because our home is completely Star Wars. Like every room except the bathrooms has Star Wars stuff in it. And I think it would be fun to like show you guys kind of the behind the scenes. Most people only see me in our office with our wall, like our collection wall. But there's a lot more Star Wars in our home, and I think it'd be fun to show you guys all that. Do I like cosplay? I have become obsessed with cosplaying in the last year. I was first introduced to cosplay in 2014 when I went to my first San Diego Comic-Con. I saw everyone cosplaying, and I had never seen anything like that before, and I was like, this is so cool, because I've always been obsessed with fashion and costume design and like all that kind of stuff. So when I saw that people were recreating the looks of their favorite characters, I was like, this is so awesome. So yeah, I did my first cosplay that year. I literally bought a costume from like the giant tower, one of like the vendors. I got a Huttslayer Leia costume, and my boyfriend at the time, was Boba Fett. So that was really fun. I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but it was a lot of fun running around the convention in cosplay. I took a little break after that. I just feel like I wasn't really confident enough to cosplay. I really didn't start posting a lot of Star Wars content until like September of last year. So it's really only been like a year that I've really been like posting Star Wars stuff. But last Halloween, I did a gender bent Anakin cosplay, and I completely fell in love with cosplaying. A lot of that has to do with TikTok because it's such a fun platform, especially for cosplayers. So yeah, over the last year, I've done quite a few cosplays. I've done, like I said, my Anakin. I've done a Fireside Padme, which I am currently redoing to make more accurate, so I'm really excited about that. What else? I've done Geonosis Padme. I did that for Star Wars Celebration this year, and I just love it. I love Padme. She's one of my favorite characters, and that was really cool to do for like the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. And I'm currently working on a Lady Vader cosplay, so a gender bent Vader, and that is by far my favorite cosplay I've ever done. I'm just so happy with how it is coming together. My favorite character is Anakin / Vader. So cosplaying him has been really cool, and I cannot wait to show you guys everything once it's done, because I'm waiting on, I think, 2 or 3 more pieces. I already bought them. I'm just waiting for them to arrive. And then I want to do like a full YouTube video showing you guys like how I put everything together, the thought process, because I'm making it kind of like a alternate universe, like where he isn't scarred, because I could not do that full makeup every time. So it's kind of gonna be like a pre-suit Vader or pre-crisp Vader, if you will, but there are still elements of Vader's suit. So it's going to be kind of a mix. So I'm really excited for that. You guys have already shown me so much love on the few pictures that I've posted about like the progress on my Instagram, and I'm so grateful because I really love cosplaying him, and it makes me really excited that you guys are enjoying it too. So those are all the questions I could answer today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun sitting down and just chatting with you guys. Let me know if you guys have any other questions down below. I'd love to do like a follow-up video of this. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!